Hey everybody, this is IndieGeek, and today I'm taking a look at So Many Me. This is a game from Extend Studio and is out on Steam now, I believe for PC, Mac, and Linux. It is $12 for the opening week sale and $15 after, and of course I will have a Steam link in the description to where you can purchase this for yourself. So, I am going to jump in here. I'm actually going to go back to some levels that I've already done. Yeah, luckily we can go back and retread old levels, so maybe we'll just start on like level 3 or so here. I've played about 2 hours of the game. If we look at my completion rate, it looks like that is about 1/5 of the game, assuming that the rest of the game goes just as fast, which I wouldn't expect it to because the game does get harder. Let's see here. So this is basically a puzzle platformer, as you can probably tell. However, we've got a couple of gimmicks, as kind of all new puzzle platformers do, and I don't necessarily want to use gimmick in a, in a bad way, because it's not a bad game at all. I actually really enjoy this game, having a great time with it. But, first of all, the first thing that kind of makes this game stand out is we actually started the first level with only one of these characters. And in each level we get an opportunity to find another. And we use that for various purposes. As you've probably already noticed me doing multiple times, I can turn one of them into a platform, which of course is very useful for us. Okay, so basically what this is we would need to put... There used to be a collectible up there. There are 3 kind of collectibles to find in each level. So I guess I will just show how to do this one real quick. So basically then he's going to step on the switch. So all we had to do is block the cannon. So yeah, from left to right that is a costume, which I can go to appearances here and we can see the costumes we found. And we can actually go in and we can choose costumes for each one, which is always pretty fun, pretty cute. I like all the costumes that I've seen so far. So yeah, there's, the game is really funny. Like, that's a lot of it. It's meant to be pretty funny. The other one, right, so the green orb that you can see in the middle, that is our extra person. And then the thing on the right is a ring. I'm not sure actually if it has like an official name or not, but basically what it does is, is it allows us to buy some upgrades later, like some abilities. It allows us to... That was bad of me. But that is a good example of how nice the checkpoints are. And it's not that I just lucked out and happened to have a checkpoint right there. That is how generous all of the checkpoints are. So that is something that I can really give to the game. There was like a thing in here. It's probably the baggie. Alright. So, there are a lot of really good things about the game. And I honestly don't have any complaints. This is actually an interesting section because the thing that would make this section hard is needing to get what's in there. So, well, and you don't need to get it. That's what I was kind of getting at. Is like the 3 things to find in each level are totally optional. So if you don't want to collect everything and get 100%, you don't have to. And I like that a lot. I think it means that a lot of players at a lot of different skill levels are going to get in on this. And I think that's a good thing, because it is a game that really deserves a lot of players. I think I'm trying to do this like a lot more risky than I should, and I don't think you can actually do it. I think you actually do have to at some point do that. Yeah, I think it's really well crafted. There's really good level design, and there's just like a lot of good things about the game. Actually, here we'll have a little bit of dialogue. It won't budge. How are we supposed to get past this? I say we smash it. Given the approximate mass to volume ratio of this ovoid concretion, I'd say that the statistical probability of any one of us being able to move that is, well, 0. So you mean we're stuck here? And there's Asimov. He tells us things from time to time. I'm actually just gonna go through the rest of this dialogue real quick. basically he's going to teach us about one of our abilities, which we will be using quite a bit. And, you know, another thing I want to talk about this game is the pacing. I think it's just paced really well. Basically every level that I've played so far, we come across something new that we haven't seen before. And that is really important, you know, to keeping a game like this interesting. And it definitely stays interesting because of that. So, you know, I think that's... yeah, we can leave him at any time, and we do need to. Again, I'm able to kind of rush through these levels a little bit because I have gotten most of the collectibles. I haven't really figured out how to get this one, so I'm not sure what I have to do actually to get it, and I would love to be able to, but I just can't figure it out, right? So, like, to get this platform moving back, we have to do that. And then I think, you know, maybe it is just being fast enough, but I'm not sure. So anyways, yeah, because I've collected all the stuff, the levels are pretty easy, but that's okay. I mean, the tricks come in with collecting stuff. So I'd say, like, if you actually take the time to figure out how to collect everything, you are going to have the skills necessary to beat a few levels ahead of where you're at. And if you don't, then you're pretty much going to be moving on at like a pretty normal pace for the game. So it's all kind of dependent on whether or not you want to be like moving ahead and being prepared for some of the future levels, or if you are content with being where you are at. I guess, if that makes any sense at all. Sorry if it doesn't. Trying to think how much of this I actually need to do. I'm not sure. Again, like I said, just all of the collectibles are optional. I think you do have to collect some of the other guys, so I don't think that part is necessarily optional. Okay, there we go. But yeah, you know, from a gameplay standpoint, I think the whole thing is really, really good. There is definitely a lot of great stuff going on here. Yeah, this level is actually pretty complicated. Sorry, I don't want to make it seem like it's just too hard for me. I have beaten the level, as you saw, and I did get everything, but I want to be able to concentrate on commentary here. All right. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like the gameplay in a nutshell. We are going to come up on a boss fight here, actually, after this level. Again, really good example of how nice the checkpoint system is. Just in that I did not really lose much time at all when I died there, and that is something that sticks with you through everything here. Alright, so we're going to do this level, which ends there if you don't want to go for the optional things, which I've already done. And then we've actually got a boss level here that I wanted to show off. This boss, at least at this point, is pretty simple. I'm not sure if future bosses get a little tougher. I would assume so, because what I've found so far is that as we get farther, things get tougher, which they should. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, there we go. Again, I'm just going to skip past this dialogue. I do like the dialogue, though. It's all pretty funny. And I've actually found myself laughing out loud a couple of times at the dialogue, so that's a really good sign. The game's got a lot of charm to it. But from a gameplay perspective, we've kind of seen what's going on here. I think it's pretty obvious from seeing, you know, a few level examples here. And I do want to just really, really praise the level design. Like, it's not a puzzle platformer that just has, like, a convoluted number of elements to it, right? And that's how some of them try and be tricky, is just giving you, like, 50 different elements that only apply in certain situations, and then expecting you to figure it out. By the way, this golden sparkly stuff means that we can't make a block, so if I try and make a block there, I can't. So, you know, we've kind of seen, like, the main elements here, and this is what the rest is built off of, and I think that's really, really smart. and it just means that the game is designed really well because we've got a few basic elements that sort of build the whole game. And I think that really is just what we want, at least what I want, certainly in a puzzle platformer. It's just like a really strong, a couple of really strong elements that are used to make really interesting puzzles, and that's what we get here. Almost in like a Braid-like fashion, and I know that's really heavy praise, but I think this is pretty deserving of it. It's just a really, really well done puzzle platformer. This is actually going to take us to the kind of hub world, which is cool. We've got a lot of stuff that we can do from the hub world that I want to show off briefly. But yeah, like I said, that's pretty much like the gameplay portion in a nutshell. The other things we've got going on are, of course, the art, which I think looks fantastic. It's a really nice looking game. Definitely a game that I find very pretty to look at. These are all like extra challenges to get more of those rings. So basically we go into these, at least this one, we go into with only one person, and we will get a second one here in a second here. We can look around, so I'm not going to go collect that, but you can probably figure out how we would collect that, and then we would also collect that, and that would be it. But I didn't complete it, that's fine. I've already completed it, and there are like a lot of these. So yeah, it looks like about 14 total. So definitely a lot of fun little challenges to do there if you are into that kind of thing. Alright, if I head over this way, I should be able to get us to where we actually can buy our abilities. Yeah, so this guy will actually give us abilities. There's nothing to craft right now, but that's fine. I think as we complete more levels, we get more options for crafting things. Yeah, so I mentioned the visuals are really, really nice, and they certainly are. Like, I've just had a great time looking at everything. It's definitely got kind of a cutesy, maybe, you'd say like a cartoonish kind of look to it, but I think it's pretty fitting for the game, and I'm certainly never bored looking at it. It's just a nice game to look at, and we don't always get those anymore. Like, a lot of times games have to go out of their way to be like a little dark or like mature looking, and this is a game that isn't afraid to just be nice and happy looking, and I really, really appreciate that about it. And then the last thing that I really want to talk about is the music, which is also just excellent. Really, really nice soundtrack to the game. I really enjoy hearing the sound effects and also hearing just all of the nice music tracks in the game. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much like all of the elements of the game without simplifying it too much. This is also interesting. So if you hadn't noticed, what these do is create a bouncer basically out of one of our guys. So we want to actually use this kind of stuff in order to solve this puzzle here. I really lucked out there. Okay, so we're gonna wait. Head up. Yeah, I knew it. Unfortunately, this is actually the point in the game where, like, making a mistake means you do lose some progress. Especially because we're picking up abilities, and, we've gotten to the point where, like, the order that you... Oh, right. Okay. So, I'm actually totally dumb. Okay, so what we need to do here is... That actually needs to be our first one. Then that... It's so silly because I just did this too, which is, kind of a sign of how good the puzzles are in this. So, like, you can't use your last one to make a platform because then you've got no one to move. Does that make sense? Oh, I screwed that up. But anyways, you kind of see where that's going. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say about this. I can wholeheartedly recommend this. I find it to be very, very good. It's a very good game. Especially if you are a fan of puzzle platformers. I definitely think that you should pick this up, give it a try. Like I said, I will have a link in the description to the Steam store page so that you can give it a try if would like to pick it up. So I think that is where we're going to end off here. As always, feel free to leave any kind of comments that you would like to. Subscribe to the channel to see more videos from me every single day. And of course, if you like my look at So Many Me, then please do consider clicking the like button. But with that, I thank you as always for watching, and I will see you next time.